Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a local provider of fiber optic-based internet, TV, and phone services. Smithville's Quantum Fiber Optic Network allows large amounts of data to travel around the world from local homes and businesses. More at smithville.net. Siam House, offering Thai fine dining and takeout, including stir-fries, curry dishes, and banana fritters as featured in Bon Appetit. Lunch buffet 11 to 3 p.m. weekdays, corner of 4th and Dunn. IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. publichealth.indiana.edu. And WTIU members, thank you.
Here at the Weekly Special, we strive to bring you the stories that you won't find anywhere else.
Absolutely. It is our way of celebrating the best of Indiana culture, and tonight we are taking a special look at the incredible artists across the state.
We'll visit with local artists who have opened their studios to the community, visit the artists who are giving new life to reclaimed materials in surprising ways, learn about the extraordinary organization that is supporting artisans statewide, and explore the alluring world of performance art. It is all coming up right here on the Weekly Special's look at Indiana artists. Hello, and welcome to this unique edition of the Weekly Special. I'm Erica Sagone.
And I'm Daryl Neer. Tonight we're going to highlight some wonderful artworks from some fabulous Indiana artists, and we're going to see what their inspirations are, their motivations. I'm really excited about tonight's episode.
Me too, absolutely.
One particular inspiring artist has been Dawn Adams. For Dawn, art has not only been an avenue of creativity, it has been also a path of healing.
I know it's just canvas and paint, right? But there's just a little bit of magic involved. I want my work to heal, to be emotionally soothing. My name is Dawn Adams. I'm an artist. I have been an artist since I can remember. I was so enamored with being able to paint and draw and sort of replicate or change the reality that was in front of me. Our son passed away in 2007, and it was very traumatic. I really am very fortunate to have had an outlet to take myself sort of out of my grief a little bit, just to go someplace else. Making art can be transformative in that way. I chose water because it has a lot of different aspects to it. It looks a lot of different ways. It changes the reality that's around it. I think it is probably the most emotionally soothing subject matter there is. And it became important for me, for my relief, to help my work help other people heal as well. You know, I do a lot of underpainting and building up of texture, layering textures on textures. I use sponging, which is like plastic bags, wadded up plastic bags. I make combs out of erasers. I do splatter, which involves linseed oil and mineral spirits, and the paint sort of moves away when the mineral spirits fall on the surface. And I do use brushes as well, but kind of towards the end. Art has a lot of different functions. That part is really important for an artist, that creative spark and that creative channeling. The other part to it is what people, when they see your work, what that does for them. I believe that once it's created, when people view it, they bring their own point of view. I want people to respond and feel better about themselves, let go of some of the anxiety that they have. That's a lot to ask of a piece of artwork, but if I can make some steps in that direction, I'm really happy. I just would like for my work to heal.
Dawn's story is so touching, and I think it was
really
really
is.
interesting to see all the techniques that she uses before she even picks up a paintbrush.
And watching the artwork just transform with those techniques. And it's also really moving to hear her wanting to heal others through her work.
Yes.
It's really a stellar story. And if you'd like to see more of Dawn's paintings, please visit her website, dawnadamspaintings.com.
Many in the area have had the opportunity to meet Dawn through a special open studio tour with local artists. Our next guest has been a fundamental part of that event each year, and he also happened to be our first Expressions profile.
People think that abstraction means getting away from reality, and it often means precisely the opposite, that you're getting away from a visual interpretation, but nearer to an emotional understanding. Henry Moore. He took the human form and really changed the way we saw the human form. I needed to create something that helped focus people's minds, that changed the way people see their world. In order for us to grow as people, we need to be able to change our paradigms every once in a while. I think it's very important. How do we grow and express ourselves in new ways if we don't stretch out? And so I figured that's one of the roles of my art, is to help stretch people. Well, I do start with my sketchbook. I sketch out a general composition. All the elements have to fit together. If I planned it out too much, that the work doesn't have as much life in it. Half of being an artist is having an idea. The other half is figuring out what to do when it doesn't turn out the way you expected. I love working with different materials. I find working with new materials is challenging. It makes me stretch and find new answers to how things can be put together or how something can be realized. So I try to find ways to reuse things that I have. It's like the magazine sculptures, and I stared at this stack and I went, this isn't trash. This is a raw material. If it's a raw material, what can I do with it? And I said, okay, well, maybe they can be carved. If I create stuff that helps people look at their world a little differently, then I'm helping people grow. And that's one of the things I like about abstract work, because it allows people to use their own filters. They have to, it forces them in a way to reevaluate how they're looking at something. It's not what it's about to me. I've already experienced it. I created it. What's more important is what it's about to you. Not everything can be explained. Some things are experiential. You just have to find things out for yourself.
We are thrilled to have James here in the studio. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
And about a year ago, you were our premier Expressions profile. And so we'd love to know what you've been up to since then.
Well, making more art, of course.
And you have some beautiful art here in the studio. Can you tell us a little bit about this piece?
This piece was redone actually at one point because on vacation I was inspired by the lava rocks, lava beds that we saw in Oregon, 20 square miles of them. And it informed a concept in my head for these geometries and representation of rocks. And so the whole piece transformed into something new.
So it looks completely different now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit about the statue that's sitting here?
This is also informed from travels. In 2004, I believe, we took a trip to Australia and saw all kinds of art there. And so when I came back, I'd been doing these, or during the travels, I'd been doing these sketches of figures. And so when I came back, a friend had given me some autoclave aerated concrete samples to play with.
Okay.
And I thought, well, this is neat stuff. So I started carving the figures because that's what was going on in my head at the time.
Sure, you seem really influenced by travel.
Yes, a bit.
And I'd like to talk too about something that you've been really instrumental doing here in town, the Open Studios Tour, an annual event in Bloomington. Tell us when the next one is coming up and why people should go.
Yes. Next studio tour will be in June. First weekend in June, we'll be coordinating with the Gallery Walk. And
why is it a cool event for people to check out?
Well, you know, it gives community people opportunity to get into a studio and see what artists actually do.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot going on in this community culturally and art-wise, but people don't generally see what actually happens behind the scenes.
Well, we're all going to have to get that on our calendar. And if you'd like to see the latest news on James' work, visit his website, campbellarts.net. Thanks so much for being on the show today, Jim.
Thank you.
Now, with James, you can often identify the reclaimed materials, but our next artist, she strives to create unrecognizable transformations.
My name is Sayaka Gans, and I'm an artist. I make sculptures primarily. My Shinto belief, the belief that even inanimate objects can have a soul. I grew up playing with my mother's scrap materials because my mother always had various hobbies. You know, we were always told not to waste things. These items can be beautiful and valuable to us. When I can give these objects a new home, a new place that they can belong to and can look beautiful together, that makes me very happy. I want to promote environmental awareness in a way that's not creating a negative incentive. I think when you're given a negative incentive, you are motivated to do what's required of you, but just the minimum. What if you can do something else that's beautiful and fun and exciting? The very first step is collecting the materials. For example, I have right now 2 bins that are black, 3 that are white, a couple red, maybe 3 or 4 blues. I'm always collecting. I love making something new. So far, my favorite out of everything I've made is the pair of horses that I recently completed. So when I have an animal that I need to make, I will first do a lot of research, pictures on the internet, from books. Sometimes it just takes more design than accurate depiction from the pictures. Most of the research is for making the armature, the wire structure inside of the sculptures. So a little bit more than half of the production time goes into creating these armatures. When it gets to this stage, that's the exciting part for me. It's nothing like working with the plastic. That's the part that I have the most fun with. They almost become brush strokes. So I kind of think of it as three-dimensional impressionism. And I've always loved puzzles. Anytime I have 2 different shapes, it becomes a puzzle. And I like to look at how they look together, juxtaposed in different angles. I just love putting shapes together. So anytime I find the silhouette that I'm looking for, it just makes me very happy. It's just exhilarating. I'm trying to make these objects that are discarded by people and that don't really have homes anymore, and trying to make them happy. We need to change our thinking about what we think of as valuable.
All of her pieces are so beautiful, but I'm really blown away by that horse sculpture. It's just fantastic.
It's amazing, and to think that she conceptualizes that piece by looking at these random pieces of plastic. It's phenomenal.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And you can check out more photos of her incredible pieces at sayakagans.com.
Over the years, we have featured several members of the Indiana Artisans Organization, including local favorite Amy Breyer.
Sometimes I joke I'm the product of my mother's frustrated ambition. She was always doing art, so I think I was really brought up to be an artist, and all my life that's what I wanted to be. I'm Amy Breyer, and I'm a sculptor. I knew that I liked three-dimensional stuff better than two-dimensional. I got my BFA in sculpture. Right after I graduated, I went to Italy and I smelled the dust, and that was it. It's a huge challenge. Clay felt easy, so I think I like the challenge. I feel like I can move it around and work it how I want, and so it's become almost as fluid as moving clay around. I love to cut it. The stone gives back to you. And the fact that this stone was made from what were once living creatures gives it a very special quality. I love hearing the pop as pieces fly off. You can hear them release. The feeling of making it fly, it's really fun. Stone sitting on a pedestal, it's boring. But I want to expand on what is stone and how can I connect with somebody, how can I bring them into it. I do a lot of interactive work, which is not typical in stone carving. With the reliquaries, I want to play with the idea of the stone as being this permanent, heavy, eternal object. It's more of a tool. Art doesn't really happen, I feel, until I have somebody else come along and roll it. And the viewer comes and interacts and rolls it themselves and makes the image in the sand, which is endlessly renewable and repeatable. The more I teach, the more the teaching and my art practice become very melded. I started the symposium 17 years ago. I make art because I want to connect with people. So whether I'm giving them an experience through my work or I'm helping them to create art, I still feel like I'm connecting through the same vein.
For more information, visit amybreyer.com.
And we are here with a prolific photographer and director of Indiana Artisan Organization, John Bauer. And John, thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure being here.
Well, John, could you start off by giving us a brief overview of the mission for Indiana Artisan?
Well, this organization started in 2008 as a state agency, and there were actually 4 state agencies involved in putting it together. And we're now an independent nonprofit organization on our own. And our main purpose is economic development, but also promoting artisans that are our members and also art in general throughout the state.
Well, John, you were one of the first artisans to be named part of this organization. And as an artist, how have you benefited from Indiana Artisan?
It's a real nice pat on the back. You know, a lot of organizations have awards and things, and artists don't have that. So this is being billed as the best of Indiana's artists and craftspeople, and I'm really honored to be a part of it. but they also do workshops and how to write a business plan, how to improve your sales and things like that. So it helps in a lot of different ways.
How about I mean, Indiana Artisan has become a strong brand as well.
It really has. It was based on programs in other states, particularly the Kentucky Crafted program. And we've got just a beautiful logo that's really recognizable, and it is really an excellent brand.
Well, you've alluded to the economic development side of Indiana Artisan. Can you speak to the importance of the arts to economic development? Because oftentimes it's overlooked.
Yeah, the idea of a starving artist, you know, it's almost universal. Artists, they're not good at doing business plans, for example. And so they need that kind of help, and this organization is designed to do that.
And then also, we see communities around the state that really have benefited strongly from that artistic community, whether it be tourism or sales, and that's also a strong part of Indiana Artisan, correct?
Sure. When people buy work of Indiana Artisans, you know, that filters through the community. It helps everybody. And we've got 250-some members now in 57 counties around the state. We're still growing.
Well, this is an organization that's members are juried in. When's the next opportunity for people to apply?
The next jurying is in May, I believe, next year.
All right, and then if people they apply, if they don't get selected the first time, they're encouraged to participate again, correct?
Oh yeah, because we have different jurors each time, and one juror may look at a piece completely different than another one will.
Yeah.
And at the end of March next year, we're going to have our 4th annual marketplace at the fairgrounds in Indianapolis. So that'll be one-stop shopping. You can come and see lots of artisans and talk to them and hear their stories and buy their goods.
Absolutely. Well, John, we appreciate you taking time to come in with us here today.
Thank you.
And
Sure.
if you'd like to read more about the organization or find artists in your community, visit indianaartisan.org.
And what I've loved about all of the artisans that we've seen today is the tools that they use. So from power tools to paint brushes and even fire, as we're about to see.
The moon rises high over the forest. The grass under your feet vibrates and shifts with the beat. A sensuous melody tickles your ears, and before your eyes, a slinky form moves into the firelight. Well, the first time I saw it, I just thought it was beautiful and hypnotizing, and I'm a very large talker, but I actually got very quiet when I saw it and just kind of stared and was mesmerized by it. But it was probably about 3 to 4 months later that someone came through my life, literally was at my house staying over for a night, that changed it. And she had these soft little balls on the ends of yarn that she was spinning around. And I said, oh my gosh, you can do fire. I spent about 40 hours a week just researching on the internet and seeing what I could find and what I could learn about this art form. The particular tool I was learning was called POI, P-O-I. It really went from something I could never do to, oh my God, this is amazing, I have coordination, like overnight. And within 2 months, I lit on fire for the first time. The hardest tool is poi. And the reason that people say it's the hardest is because if you mess up, it doesn't hit the ground. It smacks you in the face. It hits you in the stomach. It catches your hair on fire. It is attached to your fingers. And so once I had that realization that I've already learned the hardest tool, it made everything else from that point a much easier battle. I am a fluid and sensual dancer, making it more about the fire and the dance. The element is beautiful and it's dangerous and it's graceful, but it's destructive. If you don't have the respect for it, you can't create that beauty and that art that can come out of it. And I've never seen art with fire before. So it was beautiful to see something that was so hypnotizing, intoxicating, and powerful all at the same time. It just sucked me in.
Now, Erica, can you imagine putting yourself in that position and even trying to do the fire dance?
I don't think so. I think Molly has a lot of courage.
Yeah, a lot of courage.
And to find out how to see Molly perform, visit her website, mollywildfire.com.
And of course, don't forget to visit the Weekly Special website for more Expression segments. Now, Erica, we promised our viewers up front we were going to have some wonderful artists, some really cool artwork, and this show delivered.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited about just the way that these artists reinvented and reimagined the natural world.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was, for me, really interesting to hear the stories behind these artists and their art, and to hear their personal motivations, whether it be environmental change or healing. It brought a new meaning to the art for me.
And we can promise you more exciting segments in episodes ahead as well.
Yes, looking forward to it. Well, that's all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Production support for the Weekly Special is provided by Smithville, a local provider of fiber optic-based internet, TV, and phone services. Smithville's Quantum Fiber Optic Network allows large amounts of data to travel around the world from local homes and businesses. More at smithville.net. Siam House, offering Thai fine dining and takeout, including stir fries, curry dishes, and banana fritters as featured in Bon Appetit. Lunch buffet 11 to 3 p.m. weekdays, corner of 4th and Dunn. IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. publichealth.indiana.edu. And WTIU members, thank you.